doesn't self-regulate properly until you've eaten a bunch of it, and you go, oh fuck, I think I've eaten a little too much, which is the same thing that you'll get if you eat too much salt. It's literally the same thing, except that your body stops earlier at the salt than the MSG.
And you're talking against MSG specifically in a negative light in this area, and that's the part that's confusing.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that you can oversalt. I'm saying that you oversalt. No, I'm saying that you oversalt with it, basically. You oversalt it. And your body doesn't notice that it's oversalted until it's too late, and that's why you have a reaction then, because you literally have eaten too much salt, if you wanted to think of it just from the salt perspective.
Why would that happen with MSG instead of normal salt?
Because your body just fucking keeps shoveling it in and doesn't say stop because it's not processed the same way. You have salt regulation in your body where you say, okay, I've had enough salt. That's what you do. By the way, you don't have that with sugar. That's just why you can keep eating sugar and not stop, because your body doesn't tell you to stop. And with the MSG, you just notice it later because it's so fucking good. Your dopamine overrides everything and just keeps shoveling it in. And then your body goes, hey, that's a bad idea. You're not supposed to eat this much sodium. It's not a bad thing about MSG specifically. It's just that in certain foods it's overused, and then you may, it's just that may, get the effect. And in case of James's case here, it's a perfect demonstration of exactly that. You eat a certain amount of salt, it's perfectly fine, everything is good, then you get your sodium content, it's nice, you're used to that, and now you introduce a shit ton of sodium because your body just like shoveled it in because it tastes so fucking amazing, and then you have a problem. Doesn't matter, it's like as if I would drink the salt right now. If I were to force myself to drink the salt, I probably wouldn't notice it until later and I would feel really bad. The same shit, doesn't matter. Just easier to consume. James has got his hand up.
I think the term is like hyper palatable.
Yeah.
In the U.S., we have way too much hyper palatable food that has too much like sodium or MSG or both, and especially with like you were saying like Doritos or like chips, you know, they just have they go for this level of to make it so palatable that people just consume too much of it, right? And then the problem is it's in this there's a zone, right, where like you can eat it but it doesn't like kill you, and it doesn't give you adverse effects, worse enough effects for you to like stop eating because it tastes so good, and then your body adapts to it, and so you can continue eating it for decades because your body like adapts to it. The reality is like if you cut it out for like 2 weeks and then you try to eat it again, you'll start to see like the effects that are like kind of masked from being like adapting to it for so long. We're just really adaptable, so we can, as long as it's like only subtly making us feel shitty, it's like we don't even notice it.
It's also differently processed. Again, that's the major issue. It's differently processed by the body. Because when the body is trying to process MSG, it's going for the glutamates. Yeah, it's not the sodium.
The glutamates are like a amino acid attached to the sodium, I believe. Yeah.
Yes. That's how MSG gets made in the natural form. When you add salt into your food, and you say, like with stews are a great example of this. So a lot of stuff is glutamates, onions, meat, wine. Wine has a lot of it. So what I was doing to make the best stews is I create it basically by just having a bunch of onions, frying them, garlic as well, put the seasoning in there, and then add the salt in, and then I add in the meat, stir that around for a little bit, so you already have like everything is kind of moving around. Then I add a shit ton more glutamates with the wine. Then I squeeze in 1 or 2, maybe 4, depending on the volume, lemons that kind of stabilize what's about to happen. What happens is that when salt dissolves in water, it splits into sodium ions and chlorine ions, because these are sodium chloride, so the chlorine goes out, and then, sodium floats around, and then that tries to bind with glutamate ions that have been released from the food that's in there. That then gets bound and stabilized by the lemon that you just put in there, and then you create a natural. So it's just chemistry. It's literally you're just chemically creating it. And the thing is, with this, you kind of make sure that you don't create too much of it on accident because it's hyperpalatable. So you just add the amount of salt you were going to add in anyways, and then a certain amount of it gets turned into, MSG, and it's just going to be the right amount so you don't have too much sodium in your body, because that is a problem.
When we distill it into a shaker that we can just add to our food, it's really easy to add.
Yes.
Like way too much.
That's the issue. Like you wouldn't even add this much salt to your food. If you tried, you wouldn't be able to eat it. That's the problem. So your body would just go, finish. But if it's the MSG, it goes, oh fuck, I want to have more. And it's not specifically the problem with MSG, it's just that's the problem that the body just goes, fuck, I want more of the dopamine, it feels so good. hyperpalatable, basically. Same thing why we like drink certain, energy drinks and various things, or just sugary drinks in general. Just love the feeling, and we love the taste. It's awesome.
I got really used to drinking like seltzer that's like 0 calories or like very little, like probably like 20 calories or something with just like a tiny bit of juice in it or something. Just because it's low calorie. And also like now my palate thinks that it's totally fine with that. And if I try to drink like a regular Coke or something, it just tastes so sweet. I can't even, I don't even want it. And I don't have like a salt version of this, but for sugar, my sort of like gauge of like, oh, is my palate kind of good on sugar right now in terms of like, am I at the right, like, am I having a good amount of sugar for having too much sugar? Is if I eat like a fresh raspberry from the farmer's market, if it doesn't taste sweet to me or if it tastes like not that great, I'm probably eating too much sugar. And now I've adapted to more sugar, because if the raspberry tastes delicious to me, that means I'm like, I've kept my sugar intake to a good level. That's like how I sort of keep my sugar in check, is raspberries still taste good.
Nice. Excellent.
This all just sounds so very tiring to me.
It's not. It's just a task.
I'm so happy that my body's like, I have food, thanks. And that's about as far as it cares about anything I put into it. I've even tried going the healthy, like, organic, grass-fed, like everything. It made absolutely no difference. None whatsoever. My body was just like, new food, great.
Yep. And that's you. You can sustain that. Not everybody else can do that. A lot of people are just like me and James and a bunch of others that do the same thing. Noya as well eats clean. I know a lot of us here eat clean, although she eats a bunch of ice cream and shit. I sometimes do that too. Add a little fun in there. You can get away with stuff after a bit.
For me, it's like the portions, right? I had some ice cream today, but it was like a tiny little cup. It wasn't like too much. And so if I just put the portions down, I don't know. My wife just got this one that I just totally ate. It was hers. It was this little chocolate something with like honeycomb mixed into it. It was fantastic.
Get like a Haagen-Dazs. Them shits are great. But anything that has less ingredients in it than the 10 Commandments is infinitely better than that does.
Ben and Jerry's are surprisingly like the best for this. Them hippies know how to make real good ice cream.
Have you guys seen that ice cream stuff? That Ninja like ice cream maker where you can like make your own ice cream at home?
No.
It's called the Ninja Creamy.
Bro, what?
I swear to God.
What an adorable name.
Worst name. But I made ice cream with I used a protein powder. I used like a snickerdoodle like cookie protein powder to make ice cream, and it was fucking delicious. It had like a crazy amount of protein serving. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Right on.
Maybe Vera just has really good genetics, though. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could just eat anything and be fine.
It is entirely possible that my dad was part of some weird military experiment that made us very unusual humans as far as tolerance to things goes.
I used to eat like McDonald's and like pizza and Burger King like every single day growing up. I just grew up where like both parents were working, and I ate a lot of fast food all the time. And that I was fine until like my mid-20s, and then it was just like I just started to gain a bunch of weight, and the only way for me to like stay in a healthy weight is to stop eating so much fast food. It was like the only thing I could do.
Meanwhile, I just turned 37. My body works the exact same way it did when I was like 20.
That's awesome. I'm 39.
Today's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, the balloons finally worked for once. And my 3 or so birthdays that I've actually been active on Twitter, it's the first time the balloons were like, hey, we're going to show up. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks, team. Where have you been the past couple years? Because, like, people didn't believe me. Like, it's my birthday. I was like, I don't see any balloons. I was like, I don't know what's up with that. Like, they don't know what to tell you guys.
Bro, why is it? I love how everybody's like crashing out about the campaign evolved screenshots. They're like, oh, there's RTX in this, and they're like, ah. I'm like, yeah, I understand your system's gonna run a little shit, but do you know there's a switch where you can turn it off?
What? What are we talking about? RTX and turning it off?
Halo, the new version of Halo.
I did not actually see that. I was busy, doing birthday stuffs with the in-laws.
Yeah, but no, it's the new Halo thing is coming out. New game.
Yeah. How did it look? Did it look like they were overextending themselves?
I don't know, man. All I'm gonna say it literally is like a Halo Infinite reskin of CE. That's pretty much it. I'm still gonna play it.
Are they actually using the old engine with the with the new skin, or is it based on a new engine? Or
I think it is Unreal Engine because they said it is Unreal Engine.
Oh, it's Unreal. Okay. So I wonder if that's going to affect the feel of the game.
The Halo CE, man, the best fucking gun in any game ever in history.
That's
a big claim.
The pistol.
Yeah, the pistol is fucking awesome. You could snipe someone across the map and hang them high with that fucking pistol, dude.
Yeah,
They kind of did the same thing with the sidekick, but they changed it heavily. It's like it's the sidekick doesn't give the same feel, and I think the only gun in Halo Infinite, at least, that is like the sidekick that feels like the original Magnum is the Striker sidekick. That shit is a fucking sniper rifle, bro. Oh, and if you actually want to snipe someone across the map with a lower fire rate, there's actually a little secret gun. There's like this map where basically you can call out, I forgot what it's called. It's like it's not Valheim, it's the other one. It's where basically you have like these different, it's a very outdoor map, really. It's the one where basically you sit on a spire and you fight a whole bunch of shit, and then you move on to, a bunch of other places. That's like literally the first spawn is always going to be on the spire, right? Like on one of the spires. And then you can move on to other things. There's like a little room there and all that kind of shit, but there's like a little mountain. You have to go on top of that mountain and you can grab that little gun over there. And it's basically a flex fire sniper rifle as a pistol. Oh, and every time you pick up a gun and then pick up that gun duplicates, and you can keep picking that gun up and it keeps duplicating it again and again and again and again and again.
Infinite pistols. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Flex fire pistol.
I don't want work anymore. Because I'm working every day.
That just reminded me of when we were testing Advanced Warfare, and just to pass the time, we would do this thing where we get full teams of 6 people to line up with sniper rifles across the map. Like, we would just find some open area, and we would just do old school war volleys where we would no-scope towards the other team, and then we would reload, take a step forward, fire at each other again, reload, take a step forward, fire at each other again. You never see that shit in real games anymore. But that shit's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I once ran like a lobby of people, and all we did was 360 no-scope. So everybody, like, you couldn't kill anyone unless you 360 no-scoped. And so everybody in that whole fucking lobby was just spinning, and it was the dumbest shit. It was so fucking funny. Or like we had one scrim where it's like, okay, the 360 is getting on our nerves. It's really difficult to do this. I'm like, okay, fine. How about we just no-scope each other? All right, that works. Everybody switched to a different type of like no-scope, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys. And so we then did that. It's like, no ADSing. The other guy cheated with the ADS. I'm like, no. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to me. I enjoyed it. A lot. It's good, bro. Damn. That's awesome. I think I guessed that ethnicity correctly. Whew. What? I'm just going for notifications. It's going like that post is going to. That's really interesting where that post is going. Oh, first it reached Black Twitter, now it's reaching Asian Twitter. It's like somehow it's weird because it's like it's Philippines Twitter meets Black Twitter. They seem to be the same. That's weird. It's this post here. This one. Maybe it oddly resonates with all those people. Real cool.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that one. All right, let's have a look here.
What are they saying? I mean, you couldn't top it many ways, I guess, if they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was out in public today, like at a pizzeria. They were playing a Michael Jackson song. Well, it made me think, like, I've heard Michael Jackson on radio recently, but I haven't heard R. Kelly. But where did we land with Diddy? Like, is he still radio worthy or is he canceled from public radio?
Michael Jackson's always radio worthy.
Yeah, but R. Kelly isn't. We can all agree on that, I feel.
I don't know. R. Kelly's kind of like scarred into the face of time, so.
There's also that one guy who went to jail for trying to rape a baby. Like, I don't think we play his songs either. I forget who that was. He was like one of the emo guys earlier on.
Emo guy.
Let's see here. What was that band? I didn't even know this until like a couple days ago. I was like, oh, that's a pretty big... He went to jail for what?
I don't even want to Google that.
Yeah. Like, I don't... That's pretty high up on the list of fucked up things I've heard. Like, he tried to do what? Oh. Well, that ain't right. The Lost Prophet.
They call you weird.
Lou Watkins.
What of Bill Cosby? Do we watch that? Or not yet?
I don't think many people were watching Cosby to begin with. But, like, up in the 2000s. He had some staying power, but I don't know.
That when I was little. I didn't know. I was just watching it on TV when I was a child.
Same. Like, if you hear about it, you're like, man, Mr. Huxtable, that ain't right, dude.
I loved it.
I watched all the oldest shows. My favorite from that era was Soap. We have reboots of everything, but we haven't gotten a reboot of Soap. What's wrong with people? For those who don't know, Soap was literally just a satire on soap operas. Like the over-dramatic soap operas, they just completely made it as fake as possible and as ridiculous as possible. And it was amazing.
Roseanne was great.
I was a good one too. And then she got canceled because she said some shit like they were going to bring back the Connors and everything. And then she got canceled for saying some shit on Ambien. I still can't get over, like, racism is not a no side effect of Ambien. I'm like, you're not hanging around enough people on Ambien. Not gonna lie. It's your own product. You should be aware of this. This does happen. Some people do become racist on Ambien. That is a known thing.
And why is that? They notice patterns or what?
No, they're abnormally racist, and they just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever taken Ambien, but it's a hell of a drug.
I don't do drugs.
As far as drugs go, that's one of the few where I'm like, this is legal? People can be prescribed this drug that can just put you into a hypnotic state where you have no memory of what you did and you just do random ass shit? Yeah. All right. Let's fucking go, America, I guess. I just remember the one time I took it, and I sang the song "I'm a Little Teapot" for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours straight in a high falsetto. I don't know why. That's just what the Ambien decided I felt like doing. Very strange drug. Because it's not even like a normal sleep aid. It's not a sedative. It's a hypnotic. It rewires your brain to be like entirely limbic. It just like shuts off every other part of the brain just because you don't need that. You're just going to be full lizard brain for a bit. Society's just like, oh, okay. That sounds fun.
Give him a clap.
That's also part of the whole, my body's just weird. Drugs affect me weird. Like Ambien does not actually put me to sleep at all. Just like how opiates make me hyperactive. Just kind of, that drugs don't do what they're supposed to do. It's kind of, it's been problematic for me and my dad at various points in time. Like when I went to get my tonsils out, they were like, count back from 100. I count back from 100. And they went, I don't think it's working. I went, I don't think it's working either. I don't think I'm supposed to be here to hear you guys say this conversation about it not working.
They're like, oh shit. That's funny.
If I had to guess, I would say, no, it's not working as expected.
Okay, the guy's not paralyzed. Fuck.
Hi, what are you doing awake? I don't know. I thought that was your job to know what that's about. I'm just kind of here to get cut open. I don't really know what to tell you guys on this front. It seems like this is an unexpected result, but I don't know. You do this every day. I'm just a guest on this stage.
Now that stuff works great on me. I only had it on one. I had one operation in my life, but like I just remember the mask closing to my face. I was out, and then I was back again, and felt like I had the best sleep in my life. Like it was great.
After the second time, it was in my folder. They were just like, don't use this stuff. When I had my gallbladder removed, they were like, all right, we're going to use this stuff. And I went, 199. Oh, hey, my stomach feels weird. What's up?
That's crazy.
What's really crazy is that we still don't actually know how
anesthetics work. Yeah, I was about to bring that part up next. Yeah, we know that it works, and we know that certain things work, but we actually don't know exactly why it works.
Why does this knock us out? I don't know. Don't think about it too hard.
It's just a chemical that is consistently doing exactly that. Does it damage anything? No, not really. It's like the thing you do to your computer where it's like, hey, by the way, your Streamlabs thing doesn't start properly unless you open the website first and reload a whole bunch of times until all the sources show. Why is that? Why does it work and then not work? I don't know. I just know that fixes it. Why? Beats me.
It does. Stop asking questions.
I have no memory, nothing. It was teleportation. I just wake up in
Nice.
another room, hours later, fixed up.
The most insane kind of like anesthetics are the ones which make you just kind of remove your filter for certain things and just take away some parts of your brain function, like in terms of reasoning. So you just say some of the dumbest shit and you react in some of the funniest ways. That's a really interesting anesthetic.
Like
I've seen that
Ambien.
happen a bunch. Yeah, I guess it does exactly that. Yeah, pretty much.
Wild stuff. You're just gonna be entirely limbic system. All of your main reasoning just out the window. Don't worry about it. You don't need it anymore. Which, in your normal human being, makes them go, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go sleepy then. But apparently, in some people, it just makes you go, well, I'm just going to be obstinately awake for like 14 hours in defiance of this. Like, I remember, I think the last time I took Ambien was because I wanted to go to sleep before I had a job interview at Frito-Lay or something. And I took it and I just wound up staying up the entire night. Like, I just stayed up all the way through to the interview, which was like 20 hours later. Sometimes brains just be weird like that.
Bro, what? This is my general chat right now. Discord's hilarious. Control 6 goes the way I pulled into this conversation leaves me wishing that Chaos Dad pulled out. Jesus Christ. God. Yeah, it's entertaining in there right now. I'm actually thinking, what I could do right now is I could probably end the space here. I think it was a great show. It was really neat, and y'all can join me on Discord. I'll be in. It's kind of like Spaces, very similar, so I'll be in there. So yeah, if you'd like to join me there, that'd be pretty cool too.
Sounds good. See you there.
So everybody, go click the link up at the top right there. It's there. I'll be in the stages section, and yeah, we'll kind of continue the show there. So everybody, make sure to join us there, join the conversation, the continuance of it there. And then I'll be in there for like an hour or so, and then I'll start streaming, which will be in the advanced member section, which you can subscribe to. But if you just want to have the show continue, join that, and yeah. Link is up at the top, if you haven't already. It's there. And we'll have like a whole thing. It's gonna be fine.
See you guys over there.
Yep.
See you there.
Yeah. It's a link up at the top, right there. If you haven't seen it already, the blind spin it there, it's there.
Hey guys, I just found something cool that helps me earn a bit of extra cash and declutter my space. Watch this. So this app is you can buy.
Tao Te Ching can be translated as the book of the imminence of the way, or the book of the way and of how it manifests itself in the world, or simply the book of the way. Since it is already well known by its Chinese title, I have let that stand. About Lao Tzu, its author, there's practically nothing to be said. He may have been an older contemporary of Confucius, 551 to 479 BCE, and may have held the position of archive keeper in one of the petty kingdoms of the time. But all the information that has come down to us is highly suspect. Even the meaning of his name is uncertain. The most likely interpretations, the old master, or more picturesquely, the old boy. Like an Iroquois woodsman, he left no traces. All he left us is his book, the classic manual on the art of living, written in a style of gem-like lucidity, radiant with humor and grace, and large-heartedness and deep wisdom, one of the wonders of the world. People usually think of Lao Tzu as a hermit, a dropout from society, dwelling serenely in some mountain hut, unvisited except perhaps by the occasional traveler arriving from a 60s joke to ask, what is the meaning of life? But it's clear from his teachings that he deeply cared about society, if society means the welfare of one's fellow human beings. His book is, among other things, a treatise on the art of government, whether of a country or of a child. The misperception may arise from his insistence on wei wu wei, literally doing, not doing, which has been seen as passivity. Nothing could be further from the truth. A good athlete can enter a state of body awareness in which the right stroke or the right movement happens by itself, effortlessly, without any interference of the conscious will. This is a paradigm for non-action, the purest and most effective form of action. The game plays the game. The poem writes the poem. We can't tell the dancer from the dance. Less and less do you need to force things, until finally you arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. Nothing is done because the doer has wholeheartedly vanished into the deed. The fuel has been completely transformed into flame. This nothing is in fact everything. It happens when we trust the intelligence of the universe in the same way that an athlete or a dancer trusts the superior intelligence of the body. Hence Lao Tzu's emphasis on softness. Softness means the opposite of rigidity and is synonymous with suppleness, adaptability, endurance. Anyone who has seen a Tai Chi or Aikido master doing not doing will know how powerful this softness is. Lao Tzu's central figure is a man or woman whose life is in perfect harmony with the way things are. This is not an idea, it is a reality. I have seen it. The master has mastered nature, not in the sense of conquering it, but of becoming it. In surrendering to the Tao, in giving up all concepts, judgments, and desires, her mind has grown naturally compassionate. She finds, deep in her own experience, the central truths of the art of living, which are paradoxical only on the surface, that the more truly solitary we are, the more compassionate we can be. The more we let go of what we love, the more present our love becomes. The clearer our insight into what is beyond good and evil, the more we can embody the good. Until finally she is able to say, in all humility, I am the Tao, the truth, the life. The teaching of the Tao Te Ching is moral in the deepest sense, unencumbered by any concept of sin. The master doesn't see evil as a force to resist, but simply as an opaqueness, a state of self-absorption, which is in disharmony with the universal process, so that, as with a dirty window, the light can't shine through. This freedom from moral categories allows him his great compassion for the wicked, and the selfish. Thus, the master is available to all people and doesn't reject anyone. He is ready to use all situations and doesn't waste anything. This is called embodying the light. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? If you don't understand this, you will get lost, however intelligent you are. It is the great secret. The listener will notice that in the many passages where Lao Tzu describes the master, I've used the pronoun she at least as often as he. The Chinese language doesn't make this kind of distinction. In English, we have to choose. But since we are all potentially the master, since the master is, essentially, us, I felt it would be untrue to present a male archetype, as other versions have, ironically, done. Ironically, because of all the great world religions, the teaching of Lao Tzu is by far the most female. Of course, you should feel free throughout the recording to substitute he for she, or vice versa. As to method, I worked from Paul Karas's literal version, which provides English equivalents, often very quaint ones, alongside each of the Chinese ideograms. I also consulted dozens of translations into English, German, and French. But the most essential preparation for my work was a 14 years long course of Zen training, which brought me face to face with Lao Tzu and his true disciples and heirs, the early Chinese Zen masters. With great poetry, the freest translation is sometimes the most faithful. We must try its effect as an English poem, Dr. Johnson said. That is the way to judge of the merit of a translation. I have often been fairly literal, or as literal as one can be with such a subtle, kaleidoscopic book as the Tao Te Ching. But I have also paraphrased, expanded, contracted, interpreted, worked with the text, played with it, until it became embodied in a language that felt genuine to me. If I haven't always translated Lao Tzu's words, my intention has always been to translate his mind. Describing the indescribable, teaching the unteachable, pointing the way to the way. What does Lao Tzu think he is doing here? It can't be done. No way.
This is a Japanese
Hence, Po Chu-yi, poet and stand-up comedian, wrote, "He who talks doesn't know, he who knows doesn't talk." That is what Lao Tzu told us in a book of 5,000 words. If he was the one who knew, how could he have been such a blabbermouth? That's the problem with spiritual teachers. They have to be blabbermouths. But their words are, in the traditional Buddhist metaphor, fingers pointing at the moon. If you watch the finger, you can't see the moon. How meticulous the great masters had to be. A monk asked Matsu, "Why do you teach mind is Buddha?" Matsu said, "To stop a baby from crying." The monk said, "When the crying has stopped, what then?" Matsu said, "Then I teach, not mind, not Buddha."
This guy's a genius.
The monk
Stopped
said,
frying chicken and started
"How
cooking it
about
in
someone who
water.
isn't attached
He
to
adds
either?"
800 grams of chicken to a hot pan
Matsu
with
said,
water and
"I
cooks
would
it for
tell
10
him,
minutes.
not
Then he adds a
beings."
teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon
monk
of
said,
paprika,
"And
half
what
a
if you
teaspoon
met
of
a
black
man
pepper,
unattached
and
to all
3/4 butter.
things?
He mixes
What would you
everything
tell
well so
him?"
the flavors soak in perfectly.
Matsu said,
After that, he adds half a
"I
cup
would
of
just
water,
let him
covers the
experience
pan, and cooks
the
for
great
5 more
Tao."
minutes. He says this trick came from a 5-star
In
chef
fact,
who told him never
the
to share
truth
it.
is right
But
before
he
our
just couldn't
eyes,
keep it. This company
right
is
under
only
our
viral.
noses. So simple that every child understands it. And yet, as Bankei said, the farther you enter into it, the deeper it is. Where is the way to the way? What a question. Still, for complicated minds, drastic measures are needed. Lao Tzu's book was written as a response out of grandmotherly kindness. According to the oldest biography, Lao Tzu lived for a long time in the country of Chu, but seeing its decline, he departed. When he reached the frontier, the guard said, "Since you were going away, sir, could you write a book to teach me the art of living?" Thereupon, Lao Tzu wrote his book about the Tao and departed. This is legend, but it is an accurate description of the way in which true teaching happens. He who knows doesn't talk, but words are no hindrance for him. He uses them as he would use gardening tools. When someone asks, he answers. Tao De Jing. 1. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from desire, you realize the mystery. Caught in desire, you see only the manifestations. Yet mystery and manifestations arise from the same source. This source is called darkness. Darkness within darkness. The gateway to all understanding. 2. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. 3. If you overesteem great men, people become powerless. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. He helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think that they know. Practice not doing, and everything will fall into place. 4. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden but always present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It is older than God. 5. The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty, yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. 6. The Tao is called the Great Mother. Empty, yet inexhaustible, it gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want. 7. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself, thus it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She is detached from all things. That is why she is one with them. Because she has let go of herself, she is perfectly fulfilled. 8. The Supreme Good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that people disdain. Thus, it is like the Tao. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. 9. Fill your bowl to the brim, and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife, and it will blunt. Chase after money and security, and your heart will never unclench. Care about people's approval,